All right, it is knife time once again, coming to you on this lovely Tracker Tuesday afternoon from Junker Forge. That's right, one of my YouTube buddies, Suburban Ninja EDC, was like, you should do a tracker video one of these days, and I'm gonna, right now today. Surprisingly enough, I wasn't raptured. I just saw on some other YouTube channel that the rapture was supposed to be today. Yet here I am. That's weird. Yeah, newsflash, that happened in about 1830, and we are the meek that inherited the earth. So stop looking forward to all that, people. All right, this is the Tops Tom Brown Tracker, and this is one of the older ones. I used to love, when I lived in Reno, I used to love on my weekends popping into pawn shops and grabbing a couple dollar DVDs and just look around, see if there's anything else cool. And in the summer of 2012, I popped into one of my favorite pawn shops there in Reno, and lo and behold, this boy was in the case. Get some light on those markings. Look at that there. We got the Tom Brown Trucker. Yeah. Boy, and you know what? This is an important knife in my collection because there was a time and place in my life where all I could do was really read books and watch TV. And I'd never seen the movie The Hunted. And the movie The Hunted came on, like AMC or TNT or one of those cable channels with commercials, and I was like, dude, what knife is that? This is like 2005, 2006. I was like, what knife is that? That's amazing. And boy, when I was able to get my hands on knives again, I saw the price of this and was like, man, someday I'll have me a Tom Brown Tracker. And that's one of the main reasons that got me making knives again in my adult life, was the want of a tracker and having no money. But yeah, so I scored this thing for a pretty good deal, and let me tell you, I don't know, this is when Tops was doing their thing properly, for sure. This thing's a beast. I've seen some channels in recent years kind of do videos kind of clowning this thing, and oh, it doesn't really do nothing, it doesn't really work, and it's like, I'll tell you what, around 2014, 2015, I was one of my jobs, I had to go work on this 2,800 acre ranch in the middle of nowhere, right between the California and Oregon border. So it's like a pine oak jungle with anything and everything you can imagine growing, and every creature you could imagine. Mountain lions, deer, pheasants, woodpeckers, you name it. It was all around. And there was a particular stretch I was up there by myself for almost 6 weeks. I had this on me and a Microtech manual DOC. One of the strongest folding knives out there, for sure. And you know, I used this, I had to put in 3 miles by hand because it was through this forest and they didn't want to disturb the forest. And so by hand, and eventually my buddy helped me, and he watches the channel, you remember this, we had to put in 3 miles of water line from a spring box to this house on this ranch. And I tell you what, this thing hacked so much stuff out of the way to where I could get my shovel in the ground. And this thing, I hunted while I was up there, and this skinned out things and it gutted things. And I mean, it's not the most conventional style blade, but it will do knife stuff. This was like the first place, I mean, look at that, that's almost what some people consider a nightmare grind. This is a tank. It works like a hatchet really well. You can get your fingers back there on that curve and I mean, I've chopped up so much campfire wood with this, and that coating is tank-like. So many knives, they put a coating on them. Within the first couple days you use them, the coating's coming off. I'm not a big fan of coating, but I guess this is what it is. This is definitely old Benicio. That's what this one, I call it, because, you know, old Benicio del Toro and the movie The Hunted, which is just like, this is my second favorite movie knife, I think. I have one other than this, and I'll probably do that video soon about my favorite movie knife. Let's see. This thing holds an edge killer. It's $10.95, and they still make these. Supposedly on these original ones, if you take off the scales, there's a little tool inside here. I've never done it. I've never taken off the scales. It does have this bitchin' micarta, fine weave micarta, with red G10 liners. It's 1/4-inch blade stock. This thing has got heft. Like I said, you could take down smaller trees with this in a pretty quick manner. It works really good as a hatchet. It cuts through bone like butter. For sure. Man, and it throws all right too, boy. I'll do a short later of me chucking this into a log or something. They chuck all right. I haven't thrown this in a long time, and I haven't thrown it that much. And I really like there's some details on there. If you look, there's a little brass tube that goes through the lanyard hole on this. The overall design in your hand, it's really ergonomic. I mean, it fits, like, it's got the ramp with the killer jimping right there. Fits in your hand really well. Like that, you can dig. I've dug with this. I've dug around roots to hack out roots with this. Yeah. This is like a great off-grid tool for sure. Tom Brown. Yeah, this is like one of those knife designs that if you're in the knife world, sometimes you know you gotta be in the knife world. You see this, you're like, oh my lord, that's that knife that Benicio del Toro went after Tommy Lee Jones with. Yeah, it is pretty cool. Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to go inside and watch that now. But I am gonna leave Junker Forge today. I'm gonna hit some real wilderness today. I think my hand's good enough to put on a pair of gloves. I'm gonna rip old Lana Banana out to the trail and go for a little walk, get some wilderness air today. Take my Flissa with me and maybe whittle up a willow whistle or something. Yeah, these teeth, they will saw and cut through stuff. Yeah, this is like classico of our modern era of knives. Really, if you could ever get your hands on one of these, they're a beast. And I have no idea what they cost now or nothing, but probably over a couple $100. Everything's so expensive. But this is if there's one tops knife that everybody should have, I'd say it'd be this. For the simple fact that, hey man, it's a tracker. There's so many knockoffs of this. There's like 1 billion Pakistani knockoffs. People have made little mini versions of it. I even know somebody that was thinking about putting out a version of this. I haven't talked to him in a while, man. All my old school knife buddies have dispersed. We have to track some of them down. But yeah, there you go. The tops. Tom Brown tracker. Classic knife goodness. It's funny saying classic because I guess time just flies. There you go. Yeah, this is an older one. This is at least 13, 14 years old. My sheath, I don't know what sheath the tracker comes with. Mine came with this really cool Scout Carry handmade leather sheath. It needs some stitching. Look, I gotta restitch that. That's from years of packing this thing on my belt. And hiking and getting caught on stuff in the woods and stuff, but yeah. This is another knife. It's like there's a lot of aftermarket stuff for this knife. So there's a lot of companies that make sheaths for it. This is like beloved in certain circles, and I can see why. That you could really do some surviving with this, in my opinion. Some people don't like this knife. That's okay. Hell yeah. All right. I hope everybody's having a lovely Tuesday out there. And yeah, there it is. The good old tracker for Tracker Tuesday. Yeehaw. All right. Y'all watch your top knot.